Okay, everybody, let's get started. These are the comments for comment thread for 12. What the heck is it? 2010. Let's go. First of all, this is my printer died, so I can't put out all the comments that I'd like on the but I'm going to go ahead and just do off the comment thread. I printed up the 1210 comments. Let's go from there. Juby Tomislav, I'm so bad I can't pronounce it right. He says, be careful when you're crossing tracks, okay? Yeah, you bet I will. Some trains are fast and frequent here. You have to be careful about that. Bonsai Lang says, hitchhiking around the States, you've got to have some interesting stories about that, right? Yeah, definitely. There were a lot of interesting stories, I hope they were interesting, from those years. I did that for about 3 years. Every summer I'd be out hitchhiking around the United States. And a lot of scary stories, too. I need another channel for that. You also mentioned Will Ferguson's book, Hitchhiking Rides with Buddha. Yeah, I haven't read the book, but I've heard it's great. Let's see, Delta 105, no, I'm sorry, the Itsumaru. The Itsumaru says, wow, forgive me, Kurt, for saying, but you seem kind of stressed. Think of rice fields when you get aboard. I know I sure do. Stress is a constant companion in my life. I'm sure it is with many. And rice field idea is a great one. I'm going to definitely consider doing that. Okay, let's see. The Gaganus, am I saying it right? This is my brother-in-law. And, anyway, side of the family. Okohi? Morning nani boss? Quality. All right. All right. Okay, let's see now. The Guganos, you pronounce your name. You gave hints on pronouncing your name right. Madane, bye-bye. Yeah, I'm pronouncing your name right. Guganos, I hope I'm saying it right. I'm still not saying it right. You say, you don't watch your steps, do you? I almost never see you looking where you go. I may not appear to be looking where I'm going, but in fact I am. In fact, a lot of times I'm staging when I'm doing a Softypapa video. For example, yesterday I shot one called The Gloomy Shinto Shrine. And as I was walking around the shrine, I was watching what was going on around me and trying to stage the shots behind me to give you guys a tour of the area at the same time. So maybe I'm multitasking, huh? Okay, let's see now. Chris, my friend Chris says, too bad it ended soon. I was getting really interested in the last part you were commenting on. Did you know the battery died, or did you just keep commenting without knowing? It did just kind of suddenly stop. The battery did indeed die. And I didn't know it had died for maybe 20 seconds, so I went on rambling for a bit. That was interesting. Yeah, sorry I did that. Doug, T-Bone11843 says, wish I could send you a gift box of delicious Mexican food, Kurt, in reference to my comment that I missed Mexican food. As the Mexican food as being the one thing I missed from America. I still love that circular idea there. And, that's such a nice idea. In fact, I can get Mexican food here. It's, you have to go a little bit out of the way. You can get the burritos and the tortillas and the refried beans. And I do it once in a while. But, it's just not the same sometimes. But thank you so much for thinking about me, Doug. Don't send anything. It's too expensive. But thanks anyway. Everyone loves Alex says, you hitchhiked across America? Wow, I would love to hear some stories. You certainly are adventurous. Oh, I think I just mentioned about that. Yeah, someone else asked. Yeah, I did. Well, I didn't go across America. I always seem to when I was hitchhiking, I would always seem to stop at the Rocky Mountain, when I got to the end of the Rocky Mountains, because it just looked so flat and didn't look interesting. I like the rocks, the big mountains. So I always stayed around the western United States. Okay, Hippie6Y says, haha, love the impromptu train reference. Wasn't that cool, the way the train just kind of came along as I needed an analogy? And Mick and Fumi knows that I love a good analogy, and this doesn't seem like I'm stuck on the analogy using of trains a lot lately, especially if you watch my other channels. Let's see, Hatterific says, when I lived in Norway, I missed Mexican food a lot, too. We had one Mexican restaurant in all of Oslo, which was pretty cool. Aren't there any Mexican restaurants in the whole of Japan? Indeed, there are Mexican restaurants in Japan. There's several here in Shizuoka as well. But if you come to Japan and try a Mexican restaurant, what you'll discover is that they are gourmet affairs for the most part. You're going in and you're trying gourmet Mexican food, little tiny portions, and very good on taste and good on price, high price. And what I want is the mama and papa Mexican restaurants that I knew in Southern California, where you've got the mama in the back making up the big pot of refried beans and coming up with a platter the size of Texas, and chips, endless dips. In the Mexican restaurant here in Japan, you get like 6 tortilla chips and a little tiny thing of sauce, and the sauce isn't even hot. I'm not complaining, it's just different. Peter Arthur, why do it seems like that should be hard to say, but it's easy. It's Peter Arthur. Peter Arthur says, this is a two-part question, or somebody responded, T-Bone responded, Peter Arthur says, what does Softypapa mean? Googling indicates it has something to do with Shintoism, maybe, but I can't find a definition. And then T-Bone, Doug says to Peter Arthur, if I remember correctly, Peter Arthur, Kurt's daughter Emily's nickname is Softy, so he decided to call the channel Softypapa. Doug, you're right. And Peter Arthur, your question, this will be the last one I address for today. Your question deserves a little more elaboration. Doug's exactly right. When Emily was born in 2000, and in 2002 Yumiko and I decided to pick up roots and move to Japan in order to raise Emily here. And when we did that, I decided, I was working in the software industry then, and I decided that I wanted to get out of software and do something different. And I had an idea of becoming an antique dealer in Japan. We were going to move to Japan, why not be an antique dealer? So one of the first things I did was I set up an eBay store, and I think I did this while I was in the States, and I needed a username. And Emily's nickname at that time was Softy. She had these big pudgy cheeks, really soft, so I was calling her Softy all the time, and I'm her papa, so Softypapa. Now that store came into existence, and I operated it, and the Softypapa name eventually spread over here to YouTube, and it's manifested itself elsewhere as well. Now the interesting part, to me, the interesting part of the question was that you picked up on the fact that Softypapa is somehow associated with the Shinto religion, which has always been, there's a story behind that, and let me try to elaborate on that. Okay, here's how it worked. When we came to Japan, Yumiko and I decided to operate this business. We operated it as a team, and we operated it for many years, and Yumiko runs it right now, because I'm working in a school. But we set up this business, and one of the defining things we were going to do, or not, I shouldn't say it that way, we sat down and decided, what are we going to sell and what are we not going to sell? And one of the things we decided not to sell are religious items. We decided we were not going to be, it didn't sit right with us. So after we started our operation, we started selling cups and bowls and antiques, from Japan, all around the world. But I started getting email from people asking for religious items, specifically for items related to the Shinto religion. Now, Buddhist items are fairly easy to get in much of the world, but relatively so. But Shinto items, Shinto is the native religion of Japan, those items are nearly impossible to get outside Japan. And we would get requests from people who they'd come to Japan, experienced Japan, and then they wanted to pick up maybe a kamidana or an omomori or something like that, so they asked us to supply that to them. And at first I wasn't able to do it because we didn't have those things in the store. But the requests were steady, and over time, some of them were actually pleading in some cases. We really want to get this item, and there's just nowhere else to get it online. So Yumiko and I decided to expand our operation and include a little part of our online store for Shinto items. We initially had omomori, kamidana, and maybe ofuda. I think that's what it was. And that part of the business just took off. It became the most successful part of our business, actually, the Shinto items. And we expanded the line, and we have probably now maybe 80 products, 60 to 80 products related to Shinto in our store. Eventually, I may not have ever told this story. Eventually, the Economic Times 2007 came, and the Economic Times hit us, and I went and found a job, and Yumiko operates the store. And we closed our eBay store and create our own website. We decided with our new website to go with run with the product that had been the most successful product, which is the Shinto products, and we called it ShintoReligion.com. The domain name is Shinto-religion.com. This is not a commercial. This is just an explanation of the name. And when I created that website, one of the things I had to do was to learn about search engine optimization, SEO. When I worked on eBay did a lot of that for us. eBay drove the traffic and brought customers to our store. But if we had our own website, we had to bring the traffic ourselves. And the way to do that is to have keyword optimization on Google and other search engines. So I had to learn how to do that. I began to optimize the product listings for the keywords that we were using, which are Shinto keywords, omomori, ofuda, kamidana, things like that, shimenowa. And when you do that, I've long been in the habit of associating the channel name or the eBay store name, Softypapa, with those keyword strings as well. What happened then is you have these Shinto keywords and my name, or my user ID, Softypapa, associated with one another. Add to that, and that therefore you have the first association in Google hits, Google search string. The second association comes from another channel on YouTube that I don't know if I've ever mentioned on this channel. Maybe you know, nobody even knows that I have this channel. I have another channel on YouTube called The Old Tokaido, and I developed that channel specifically to support the business, the eBay business. I would basically sit in front of a camera and show everybody, this is an antique bowl, la 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 la, talk all about the bowl, and then upload a video and then embed that video in the product listing to help my customers see those products better. And that particular channel, and that's a partner channel actually. It's over there, doing its own thing. I don't go over there very often, but it's still over there. It has not thousands, hundreds of videos. Anyway, that channel, the videos that are there a lot of them are talking about Shinto items, and then again the tags include the name Softypapa in there, and then again this association. The result is now, if you do a search for Shinto keywords on the internet, it's very likely you're going to wind up seeing my face or the name Softypapa in the resulting strings. And it doesn't mean that I necessarily have anything to do with Shintoism, other than the fact that I'm a merchant, or I was a merchant, that sold Shinto products. So the Google and the other search engines have managed to therefore associate me with these Shinto items based on the way that I set up my advertising and my search engine optimization. That was a very long-winded explanation. I can't believe I'm at the 11-minute mark. I apologize for being so long-winded. Why can't I make these responses shorter? And this was only a response to one comments video. I didn't even get to the other one, or even the Am I Still in Japan video. Am I going to be able to keep this up? I don't know. I'll certainly try. I'm having a lot of fun. Well, thank you if you stuck this long. I appreciate you staying to the end. Take care, everybody. I'm going to go home and make breakfast. It's Sunday, so I think I'm going to make omelets. Bye-bye.